This is where it begins, and it will not end until they put a tombstone on my grave. Good afternoon. My name is Virgil Breeden, and on November the 13th of last year, I was released from the Mississippi Department of Corrections after almost 18 years. I was in prison, charged with attempted murder. During that entire time, I fought to get to court to clear my name, and that fight will go on for as long as I live. But that fight is personal, and that is not why I'm here. In my personal fight, I am about to file a petition seeking a writ of habeas corpus in the Mississippi Supreme Court. There are other things that I will do to try and get back to court and have the day that I was effectively never given. But let's get to the reason that I am here. I'm here to take on this system. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because we have what has been reported to be the most corrupt judicature, our judicial system, in this nation. Even as far away as Singapore, there are articles written that tell us that Mississippi is the most corrupt state in the Union. We need to do something, and I'm going to do my best to begin to try to do just that, to see to it that changes are made. When you speak out against a large establishment, there are many who don't like it. They are part of that establishment. In fact, 3 months before I was released from prison, I received a threat. It came out of Hattiesburg, and I have a pretty good idea of who sent it. But the message that was given to me was very simple. It said, "Keep your mouth shut, or we're going to send somebody." My response to that message was also very simple. Don't send somebody, you freaking coward, come yourself. And don't miss. People in this state are being hurt every day. We have situations that come up that are addressed in ways that totally abandon the constitutional values that we are supposed to hold so dear. This is a copy of the Constitution of the United States of America. It is, next to our Bible, probably the most sacred document that we have available to us in this country. This is a copy of the Mississippi Constitution. Mississippi has existed under 4 constitutions. Perhaps you did not know that. There was the Constitution of 1817. It was put together whenever Mississippi first became a state. Then there was the Constitution of 1832, which was had after the people got together and changed the Constitution. Later, we had the Constitution of 1869. It was changed because of those necessities brought about by the end of the Civil War and the abolition of slavery. And then finally, we have the Constitution under which we are guided and ruled to this date. That is the Constitution of 1890. There were, if I'm not mistaken, 136 delegates at that constitutional convention, if you will. One of them didn't even make it through. His name was Gurney, I believe. But they established the Constitution that Mississippi is governed under right now. One of the biggest problems with judges in the state of Mississippi, with district attorneys in the state of Mississippi, with lawyers in the state of Mississippi in many cases, is that the Constitution under which we are governed is very simple. It wasn't written for a judge, it wasn't written for a lawyer, it was written for me and you. It was written for the guy that goes out every morning and works in the fields. It was written for the guy that goes out every morning and works on your cars, or the one that comes into your home to fix your plumbing, or the one that takes out your appendix, perhaps. It was written for everyday people, and the beauty of the Constitution, both of Mississippi and the United States, is that there is a simplicity, something that we all can understand. Judges don't like that. They don't like it because they can't complicate it. Changing subjects for a moment, I'm going to mention the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Right now, the commissioner of that department is Mr. Burl Cain. Mr. Cain has done some good things while he's been the commissioner. He's also overlooked a lot, and he has allowed a total lack of real transparency in the department. But nonetheless, I will laud those things which he has accomplished. About 5 years ago, I was asked to go to Parchman to establish a legal advocacy program at the request of the commissioner. I accepted. I went to Parchman, and nothing ever happened because they were so totally disorganized there. No one knew I was coming. It was pretty well a fiasco, and I returned to Leakesville, to South Mississippi Correctional Institute there. But a legal advocacy program is literally an emergency, and we're going to talk a lot, and I repeat a lot about that in the future. I suspect that coming from some sources, there will be a lot said about me, and I suspect a lot of it won't be good. And I'm not sure how to put it other than to tell you I don't give a fat rat's ass. There is nothing left of me. Nothing worth salvaging anyway. And please understand, I am not looking for sympathy, nor am I trying to be a martyr, but I am here to try and make a change. And I'm here because I love Mississippi, and I have as long as I can remember. Right now, we are not following a righteous path in our courts, or in our penal system, or in the Mississippi Bar Association, who exists, it seems, more to protect lawyers than anything else. My personal story will be told in a series of books called A River of Fire. Those books I am writing and have written to tell that story so that you can see what has happened to me as an individual, and also the things that I have encountered along the way during those 18 years. I try to be fair and I try to be balanced. If there is something done which is good, which is just, I will tell you that. When something is done that is corrupt, underhanded, dangerous, then I have no fear of telling you that also. I have been very outspoken already. There are a number of judges who know me very well because I have filed papers on behalf of other prisoners. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a paralegal. But during the time I was locked up, I took the Mississippi Bar on 2 occasions and passed with an excellent score. So I do know and understand the law. I have studied the Constitution, so many things that have been written about our Constitution, and I am saddened. And you may be saddened also once you hear some of the things that we're having forced upon us here in the state of Mississippi. I want you to understand that this is my first post. I don't have anything scripted in front of me. I'm not reading off of a sheet of paper. I'm here to give you an idea of what I'm doing and to let you know you're going to be seeing a lot of me. I'm not going away. I will be going to Jackson. I will petition our legislature. I will petition the Mississippi Supreme Court. I will petition the office, I will petition the offices that are related to the judicature, the judicial system in Mississippi. I will ask to go and speak before them. I will ask with respect and hope that they will allow me to do so. But if they refuse, I'm going to get on their steps with a bullhorn if I have to, and I'm going to make a lot of noise. I am honored and humbled that 2 of our legislators have asked me to host a television program concerning the corruption in our courts and concerning the myriad of problems that we have in the Mississippi Department of Corrections. They know who they've asked to do this. They know from what they read of a treatise that I've been working on that I am highly critical, but they also know that I'm fair and I'm balanced. If there is something good to be said about something that's going on in that judicature, then I will report it as being good. And where it is deceitful and underhanded and crooked and corrupt, you better believe I'm going to let that be known also. And I will do so without backing down. I do not back down. Because I am on probation right now, I suspect that there will be some individuals trying to have my probation revoked. Let them try. They can't hurt me. There is nothing left that anyone can take from me. I told the superintendent of the South Mississippi Correctional Institute, an individual who I have respect for, don't get me wrong, but I told him, you cannot hurt me. You can beat me, you can spray me, you can put me in the hole, you can have me transferred to a building where life is really bad, you can send me to Colorado to maximum security, or you can execute me, but you can't hurt me because I have nothing left to lose. So understand that when I take this fight up, I'm dead serious. Mississippi has produced some of the finest people that have ever been. You stop and think about Miss Eudora, bless her heart, and the death of a salesman. And you stop and think about people like Osceola McCarty. They're gone now, but they left something behind, something that is inherent to Mississippi. And we're still producing great, great people. Right now, you look at people like Pastor Matthew Ferris in Mendenhall. The man gave up being the pastor of a beautiful church with a very nice pastorage, the home where the preacher lives. And he took his family and he put them in a trailer, an RV. But he did so he could begin a ministry to help people who needed it most. He started a homeless shelter, and because the church didn't want to be associated with that, he gave up so much. The kind of people that Mississippi produces. Look at McGee, at people like Monica Weber, and you find the kind of people that Mississippi produces. In relationship to the shelter that Pastor Ferris started, look to people like Deborah Devlin. Deborah is a nurse practitioner. When someone from that homeless shelter needs medical care, she will see them. free of charge if they have no money. And you know what? If she writes them a prescription and they can't afford it, she pays for it. I don't know what to say. If there is an angel that walks the face of this earth, you better believe she's one of them. People like Larry Van Buskirk, out of the blue, donated a building, a whole building. He bought it, and he gave it to that same shelter so that they could improve the way that they try and make what little bit they make to take care of the guys that come into that shelter that have nothing. These are the kind of people that Mississippi produces. These are the kinds of people that are being hurt. These are the kinds of people that I'm here for. Now, I'm going to be here regardless. I don't know much about these social media platforms. I hope that I can get your support. I'm going to be on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and possibly on X. Right now we have an administration, whether you like them or not, and it seems as though they are paying attention to constitutional values. So I hope that we can get their support because I'm going to ask for it. Now, I will probably never receive a response from Elon Musk or from the president or from the vice president. I am right now considered an ex-con. If I get to court and clear my name, that'll change. But for right now, they may consider me one of the bad guys. If that's the case, I can live with it. But I'm still going to ask for their support because we need all the support we can get. I don't know about all the buttons you click and all the things that you can do to support someone on these social media platforms, but I'm asking that you give me whatever support you can. And one thing is important. If for some reason you don't like me personally or what I'm saying, don't let that stop you from standing up for Mississippi. Get together, away from me if you want to, but stand up for Mississippi. I hope that when I'm done and when I'm gone, this battle has been won, that we have changes that we must have. That we have changes in our judiciary and that we have changes in the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Unfortunately, the system must exist. I've been locked up for 18 years. I understand that as well as anyone. We have to have the system. We have to be hard on crime. Some of you will think, well, I'm here to promote prison reform. And in some cases that's correct, but not prison reform that makes it easy on prisoners. And I was one. I won't say I've seen it all, but I've seen 99.9% of it. And I know that there is a better way. And I'm going to present that to you along the way. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. We're going to talk about the law. We're going to talk about all kinds of court cases that have come across the desk of the Mississippi Supreme Court and the U.S. Supreme Court and the district courts here in Mississippi and other places too. We're going to talk about the law itself, the statutes. Did you know right now that the Mississippi Department of Corrections is supposed to be self-sufficient? And yet their budget runs, what, $400 million a year? But state law says they're supposed to be self-sufficient. I think it's 47-5-1. I'll go back and check on that. So if I misquote it, please forgive me. Like I said, this is not scripted. But the question is there any possibility under God's heaven that the Department of Corrections can be autonomous? Can they take care of themselves? And the answer is yes, they can. Sure can. It would take, from right now, It would take 5 to 7 years, but it can be done. It can be done, and can you imagine what an additional $400 million would do if it were put toward educating our children? Stop and think about that. Now I'm going to sign off because I don't want to be here too long and have you lose interest. But know that I will be back. This post I'm going to try and get on tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the 2nd, I believe, April the 2nd. And I will plan on putting another post on these 4 platforms on this coming Sunday. So I'm asking you to come back and to find those posts and to see what's going on. I hope that you will contact me. If I get a lot of comments, I may not be able to answer all of them, but please understand I'll read every last one of them and try to put together responses to all of those that seem at least similar in nature. Excuse me. So I want to say thank you for the time that you've spent. I've probably taken up too much of your time already, but understand this, I'm going to be here for a while. If I have to do this by myself, I have no problem doing that because it is something right and righteous and just. Somebody has to do something. When I have the opportunity to get my books published, and it may be a little while yet because I simply don't have the funds to do that, but when I do, I will try and let you know, and I hope you find some interest. I do have one book published which you may be interested in. I wrote it along with the main character, Danny Singleton. He was a famous jewel thief, and now he's doing a ministry in prisons, and he is speaking to try and help change people's lives. He goes into jail and speaks. He's got an incredible story, and he and I worked on that book together for a long time. It's called Sins of a Cajun Boy. You can find it on Amazon if you're interested. But even that is not the reason I'm here. I think you understand now why I'm here. And I know you probably have picked up on the fact that I'm bitter. If you have, then you're very perceptive. Do you see me as being angry? Well, you nail that one too. But see me as somebody with a purpose and somebody who's going to be in this fight until there's nothing left of me to fight. But I hope that somebody will keep this fight going until we have the changes that we have to have for every citizen of the state of Mississippi. Now, this may affect some of you if you watch from other states. I know there is corruption everywhere, and please feel free to comment, to contact me. I'm going to publish my phone number. It'll be a little later on. I'm going to try and do these live programs as soon as I get the opportunity, and actually as soon as I figure out how. So please, I guess as the news people say, stay tuned. And know that this is going on until we win, until there are changes. And it'll never be perfect, I understand that. But until there are changes that take away those things which are going on in our system right now that we can't let go on. I've already angered judges. We have one judge. I've been fighting against the judge, and you're not supposed to have to do that because I filed a lawsuit on behalf of a man who was blinded by the Mississippi Department of Corrections and their medical carriers, and the judge simply took the side of the Department of Corrections. He did things which were not only unconstitutional, but reflected a total lack of understanding of the law. And well, his name is F. Keith Ball. And I pretty well told him that he has the legal inside of a kumquat. I don't think he was real happy about that. Don't think he's real happy about me. But if he wants to come and sit down in front of me and let's talk about the law and the Constitution and justice, all he's got to do is say so. I'm giving him that opportunity, and there's some more that I'm going to give the same opportunity to. I don't fear these judges. They cannot hurt me. What are they going to do? Throw me back in jail? Fine. You've already stolen my life. Do what you want to do. This is not about me. This is about you. The changes that some of you don't even know need to be made. And I hope and I pray that you will stand with me. If you were one of those, and there are probably not too many of those, but if you were one of those who stand against me, then, be ready for a fight, because I'm coming. Guys, you can count on that. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for whatever interest you might have in helping to restore Mississippi to a constitutional judicature. Contact your legislators. Contact me. And I'm asking that you stand with me to make a change. We have to make a change. Thank you all so much. I hope this didn't sound too discursive, too prolix. Like I said, I just wanted to sit down and kind of put it all out there and let you know that I am here. I'm going to be here. I'm going to fight. And I'm going to try and see that there are changes made that will benefit the state of Mississippi that I have loved for so long. Thank you and have a great day.